Hi guys, guess what? We finally have a new Chief Justice. His name, Justice Wan Ahmad Farid Wan Salleh. He has been appointed as Malaysia's new Chief Justice, taking over the post from Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat, who retired earlier this month. This, I suppose, is meant to close the issue of judicial independence and integrity in the country, which has been raging for the last couple of weeks in the country. Now, over the past week, we have heard a lot about people chanting judicial integrity, judicial integrity, judicial integrity. But actually, not many of us really understand what this actually means. So let me explain it to you in this way. The judiciary is a institution. Okay, the key word here is institution. And what is an institution? Unlike a company or a business, an institution is something that exists to serve a purpose. It serves this purpose by upholding certain core values, principles, performs certain duty, and commits to certain ideals for the society in general. A business, on the other hand, is basically simply there to make money, regardless of what its corporate communication will try to say. A business or a company doesn't serve any greater purpose than itself. It exists, in other words, just like you and I are most private citizens, basically to take care of ourselves. It serves to serve its own interests and prospects. That's it. Institution, no, serves a greater purpose. A society or a nation, let's put it as a nation, did not come into being randomly. It was born because certain conditions made it possible for it to come into being. And one of these conditions is the presence of shared ideals, principles, and values. These values, ideals, and principles are embedded in the foundation of the nation. The foundation of the nation is basically the constitution, as all of us know it. And they are upheld by four pillars: the parliament, the executive, the monarchy, and yes, also the judiciary. It's because these pillars uphold certain shared values and principles in service of a greater purpose, which is for the nation, that they are called institutions. Now, how does an institution uphold the values, ideals, and principles that it is supposed to uphold? Well, it does so by maintaining its integrity. This means it ensures that all of its members are aware of and are dedicated to protecting and upholding the values and ideals and principles that it's supposed to do. They're supposed to do it as a matter of duty. Yes, the thing. There's another big word, duty, but let's put that aside. But basically, a member of an institution has duties. And their duty is to uphold the values and ideals and principles of the institution. If it does so, you can say that it has maintained its integrity. Meaning, if it has made all of its members aware of their job, their duty to protect and uphold the values and ideals of the institution, then you can say that the institution has integrity. An institution like the judiciary, like the police, like the armed forces can only be said to have integrity if there is a high degree of consistency in how its members speak and act. If a police officer in Perlis, for example, behaves in one way, and another police officer in Sabah behaves in a completely different way, then the police as an institution cannot be said to have integrity. It lacks integrity, or maybe it has no integrity. Institutional integrity means that no matter where you are, Sabah, Kelantan, Johor, the police or whichever institution will conduct themselves in roughly the same manner. This applies to other forms of institution like the judiciary, for example. Now, how is this institutional integrity preserved and maintained? Well, it is preserved and maintained if all the members that belong in the institution are trained, indoctrinated. A lot of people seem to think that the word indoctrinated is a bad word, yeah, but it's not. It's actually an important part of being a part of an institution, yeah. So trained, indoctrinated, conditioned with the values, ethos, principles, and ideals of the institution. You see, we don't listen to judges or police officers because they are special people. We just listen to them because we believe that whatever they say represents their institution. On their own, they are just normal people like you and me, but they hold powers beyond the average citizen because they speak for, represent an entire institution. When they command or instruct us, we don't think of it as coming from them personally. We actually see it as it coming from the institution they represent. This institution probably existed from the beginning of the nation or for as long as society existed. That's the power. And we trust that they speak for the institution because we believe that all of its members have been trained, have been conditioned, have been indoctrinated with the shared code of values, ethos, and ideals of the institution. To ensure that happens, which means all the members have the same value, the institution needs something known as independence. Now, what is this independence? Now, in one way, practically speaking, if the institution has independence, it will have the ability to train, indoctrinate, condition its members by evaluating them, promoting them, disciplining them based on how well they live up to the values and principles that the institution is about. Now, an institution can only be said to be independent if its own members, if the institution itself, not outsiders, are the ones responsible for judging, promoting, and disciplining its ranks. This is why, for example, the Pope, the Catholic Pope, is chosen by a college of cardinals, not by popular vote. If people who aren't even Catholic get to decide who the next Pope should be, then the church would be no longer a meaningful institution. It will lose the values and principle that it is meant to uphold. Now, how can values and ideals be passed from one generation to the next generation if anyone and everyone can interfere in how an institution is run? Now, the reason why many people were chanting judicial integrity, judicial integrity, judicial integrity over and over again for the past few weeks is because this integrity has been called into question. How? After Tengku Maimun retired as Chief Justice earlier this month, there were signs, or at least allegations, that the Prime Minister might have interfered in the independence of the judiciary at the highest level by promoting judges, top judges, based on maybe political preference or maybe personal preference, instead of allowing the judiciary itself to determine who is best suited to lead the institution. This concern arose because of how the JAC, or the Judicial Appointment Committee, is structured. The JAC has 9 members. 4 are the top 4 judges in the country, including the Chief Justice, who serves as the chairperson, and 5 remaining members of JAC are actually appointed by the Prime Minister. So there is 9 members, 5 is appointed by the Prime Minister. This is actually seen by critics as giving the Prime Minister effective control over judicial appointment. Things came to a head following Tengku Maimun's retirement, when it was alleged that the candidate chosen by JAC under her chairman, under her leadership, was maybe sidelined, and another judge whose credibility Tengku Maimun herself had supposedly questioned. This is according to leaked JAC minutes of meeting that there is this other judge whose credibility that Tengku Maimun herself was not really sure of, or doubted, might be promoted as the chief judge of the country. Now, after some brouhaha, the matter appears to be settled, at least on the surface, with the appointment of Justice one Ahmad, Farid, one Salleh today as the new Chief Justice. So, but if you ask me, his appointment closes the matter, right? Everything is solved, right? The matter of judicial independence, the matter of judicial integrity is now considered settled. Yes or no? Well, if you ask me, I think it is settled in the sense that the issue of who will be the next top judge has been answered without a controversial figure being appointed. But if you ask me whether the deeper concern, which I've raised in the article, which I've raised in this video, not article, about institutional integrity and judicial independence, is that matter settled? Has everything been settled in a manner that now assures us that the judiciary is truly independent and capable of running its own affair in a way that ensures that its members are properly trained, conditioned, and committed to upholding the ideals passed down through the institutional line from generation to generation, from the very founding of the country itself, Okay, I'm just gonna to this is all that I'm going to say. I'm just going to say the best way to live in Malaysia is to resign yourself to live with open endings. If you need closure, if you need resolution, this might not be the best place for you. With that, I leave you as always, guys, with the hopes that you stay safe, have a good day, and see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye bye, guys.